So here's an overview of the actual construction process and how I made this in Inventor. So I'm going to be over here in the panel on the left, going through the tree, and I'll back the steps up so you can see what it actually took to make this work. So if I drag my end of part all the way up to the top here, so this is where I actually started, and it was just with a rectangle. Oops. So it's just a rectangle here, based on this sketch, 40 1/4 wide and 12 inches deep, and that got me the base. And then I started bending it. So I put one flange in for the back panel here, right there. And then as we go down, I added a flange right here for the right side. I put a face on there, and that was really just based on a sketch that came off of that. Okay. Then I added the vent rectangle and the bolt pattern for the fan insert. I added the power connection hole. And then as we go down, then I actually added a mirror. So what I did was I mirrored these features on this side over to the other side. And then I have the contour flange, and this was the probably more complicated part when you do sheet metal, or when at least I do it. So what I did for that flange was I projected the geometry of the edges of this point down here, and I think I can open this up. So this shows it, and I just bent from this part, and I told it to follow this line all the way down to the front. Okay, and if we turn this over, so I still don't have, there's no features inside, there's no flanges to hold the insert or anything. It's just really basic still. And then I did the cutout for the control panel, which is here. Okay, and again, that's just a drawing, and then I push it through the sheet metal. Mounting holes for that, and then I've got the front and the rear flange, and these are the components that actually hold it in place when I put the insert in. Okay, so the rear flange is this portion right here, and then the front flange will show up right here. So that's the rear and the front flange, and those simply just take the sheet metal and they bend it around. Alright, I did stick a little logo on here, and that's what this is. Here's where I actually extrude it. So I make text, and then I extrude it 5/1000ths of an inch. Okay, so I'm extruding my logo 5/1000ths of an inch here, and that's what actually gives it the appearance. And then what they'll do is they'll actually use a laser when they're cutting this, and they'll engrave it. Okay, so I've got those. I've got the folds right, or sorry, the cut right here, which I didn't mention. This cut right here, I cut a hole in the sheet metal, and then I stepped it across so that I could fold it down and make holders for the insert. Okay. All right, and then insert. Let's pull this down here. There we go. Okay, so insert locating flanges. So that's just a flange, a 90-degree flange that comes off the hole. And then we get to the end of the folded pattern. And then this is what the flat pattern ends up looking like. which is just where it unfolds, and this is what I actually sent out to be manufactured. Oops. And this is not correct because I've been in here messing around. I will post the correct one, what I've actually sent out. Here's what the insert looks like. So that's the flat pattern of this. And of course it shows what the tabs look like. It shows my slots. So this is actually going to be manufactured pretty soon. And that's how I actually assembled this in Inventor.